Yeah, peace. What's good? For all those who don't know, I go by the name of mathematics. To some, to others, a law of mathematics. To others, DJ mathematics. But it's always still mathematics. Well, basically, what inspired me, was just everything that was around me. Because it's like I grew up in an era where it was like originally, for those who don't know, I'm from New York, Southside Queens, and like I might be a little slightly older than some. So it used to be a time when there was music programs in school, and when Ronald Reagan got into office, he cut all that funding, so there was no more music in the school. So basically, it's like when you had the bands like Earth, Wind and Fire, and all these great R&B bands coming up, a lot of them learned through the public school system. But once they cut that funding, it wasn't there no more, and a lot of people didn't have the money to even pay for lessons. So it's like we did everything else to keep ourselves busy, and whether to stay out of trouble or just it was just fun or a hobby. So so just the environment around me. I remember when I first saw b-boying, it's like I was attracted to it. It was just like it was cool to me. When I seen the up rocking of the b-boying, and then it's like the whole everybody was cool. Just like the way. The aura of it, I was just attracted to it all. Like as far as even when I started DJing, I was influenced really by at the Park Jam. I seen another DJ just getting busy, Grandmaster Vic from 40 Projects, and it was like I looked like, yo, that's what I want to do. As far as MCing graffiti, seeing the graffiti on the wall or on the subways, and all that was influenced. It was a big influence because it was the whole culture. It was just a lifestyle. So it's even just like when you play basketball, because that's another thing we did. If you ever see a movie called Wild Style, y'all should look that up. It's an ill scene on it where you got the Cold Crush Brothers against the Fantastic Freaks. Now they battled in rhyming, but they also was playing ball while they was battling. So it was just like we brought cats say swag nowadays. There's a certain swag I guess cats had, or just that just attracted you to everything about it. Because it's like I was doing park jams when I was 15 years old. I used to go into the park and DJ, and it wasn't getting paid for, it was for free. We used to carry we used to carry records back then, big crates of records, big speakers like the B36s, and just like doing that. And then being young, I started DJing for this other cat too from Queens. His name was Mr. X, and he had a record out back then. It was like a parody of Eric B's and Rakim, I Know You Got Soul, but it was called We Drink Old Gold. And I started, I used to DJ for him. I remember doing a New York tour with him, and then we used to go to the clubs like the World, the Underground, and I was going to clubs for years and at a young age. So all that just I remember the first time I even seen Latifah rock, right? Her in particular, just because back then it wasn't really females rhyming like that. MC Lyte was like she was young and she was out at the time, but I remember I went to, I think that was, it was Union Square, matter of fact, and De La Soul was performing. Now, De La Soul at the time had one record out, a single, Pluck Tuning. They didn't have an album out or nothing, but their whole style of rhyming was different from everybody, and Pluck Tuning was just so ill. And back then, it wasn't the video. So you would have to go someplace to see what they look like, because I never seen what they look like. So I remember we gonna go to the spot. So we went to the spot to see them. And they had Just Ice was there. He caught wreck, and he was the one who actually brought Queen Latifah out. He said, I want to introduce you to this female. He brought her out, Queen Latifah. I remember she got on and she got busy. I was like, wow. And I was like, yo, she gonna be ill. I got my first set of turntables. I remember, like I said, I went to a park jam, and I was influenced by Grandmaster Vic out of 40 Projects to DJ. So I remember scraping up a little money, do what I could to get a little bit of money. I remember I got like $60-something. Went to the store, Jamaica Avenue, and I bought a Gemini turntable. I remember my mom's even helped me. She gave me a little bit of bread. Got the turntable. I only got one. So I was like, I'm on my way. I bought it. I remember bringing it home, and that's like a few days later, I'm just scratching on one turntable. like one of my older brothers come, Dashim, you know, he didn't live there or whatever, but he came over and he saw the turntable. He's like, what's that? You know, it's a turntable. I told him what I wanted to do. He said, that's what you want to do? It's like, all right. So he's like, I'll be back. He left. You know, like him, he was into other things. But what he did, he went and he had his crew come back and they brought me 2 turntables and a mixer. They had it for me. And, you know, he told me that, you know, if this is what I want to do, stick with that, you know, stay there. It was a hobby. I had no idea I could get paid off of it, nor feed my family, or to even take care of them. And for, you know, I mean, that wasn't part of what I was thinking. I was just having fun. So, you know, I used to DJ in Baisley Projects, Baisley Park. That's where I started out DJing at. And, yeah, it wasn't like, you know, back then you get a name just based off of doing what you do. You know, being in the park, and I was wrecking and I was young, so I had a little name. You know, like you know, it was a little local name, but it was good for me. You know what I mean? It made me feel good. And at the end of the day, back then, that's all I was expecting from it. But then, you know, you make your tapes. It wasn't CDs, and you know, your name travel a little further, and then certain people hear about you, and then, you know, that's how I hooked up with Jizza. You know what I mean? Because Jizza used to live around my way. His family lived around my way, and I always heard about him being an ill MC, and he always heard about me being an ill DJ. So when we connected, it was just like, you know, it was perfect. You know what I mean? So, you know, and then come to find out, when him and RZA being cousins, I didn't even, you know, I knew RZA already, but I had no idea they was family. You know what I mean? So it was kind of, you know, that was something else different right there. They knew I was doing it, you know, like my moms and all that. They knew I was doing it, but they, you know, they had no idea. We had no idea that from doing that it was going to be what it is today. Still to be here, still doing it. You know what I mean? It's like longevity is something that's really short-lived in this game. You know, you got certain cats that's here today, going tomorrow. You know, hit record today and then nothing tomorrow. You know, we may have a couple of string, you know, but then they gone. But then you got certain artists that's still here and that still do it, you know, and still able to maintain. So, you know, and then you got, you know, other artists that's on in hip-hop that's on a whole nother level, like Jay-Z or Eminem. You know, it's like they took it somewhere else. You know, like Drake, he another one. So it's like, you know, I guess the traveling, you know what I mean? Just seeing a whole lot of places I would have never got a chance to see. You know, it's like, and I'm still seeing new places to this day. It's like I just went to Dubai for the first time, like in the last year. You know, and there's a few places I still haven't hit and I would love to hit, but yeah, I would have never thought I would have seen the world, you know what I mean? It's like, just remember me, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's just crazy. Well, you know, people, you want to leave your mark and do certain things, man, but just keep me in the conversation. That would be nice.